Hello and welcome to Korea Overland. My name is Ben. I am your content curator here on the channel, and it's lovely to have you back again for video number 2. I am shocked at how many views I'm actually getting on that little video, which isn't really that great. I've got a huge watermark in the middle of the video. I am looking at paying for that program to actually take off the watermark, so I will have better looking content in the future. But I really just wanted to get one of those videos up on the channel yesterday to at least get us started. You know, that was really the purpose for that video, just to get us started. I thought it was important to do, and of course it's important for me to do that as well, because then I start getting into the routine of its development. So today here on Korea Overlander, oh, by the way, don't forget to sub, share, hit the notification button. So my goodness, I apologize. I've got a weird tickle in my throat. No, it's not coronavirus, don't worry. So if my voice goes all weird, maybe I slept badly last night, and I don't know, whatever. I'm gonna truck through it anyway. No pun intended. So why this video? Why today? Why am I doing this video? Well, because I'm going to give you the answer to the question why. Why this channel? You can go to a myriad of websites, a myriad of YouTube videos that already have a whole bunch of content creation. They have a bunch of information already. It's there. I'm not doing anything unique. There, I said it. I'm literally not doing anything unique. But I think there is one fundamental difference that is going to bring you back here. It's going to be the one fundamental difference that makes me continue with what I'm doing. And that's the answer to the question why. Because I'll be perfectly honest, I want you to buy into this. And I think I don't even have to tell you to buy into this, even though I just did. But I think by the end of this story, you're going to. And because of that, you're going to want to come back, because you're going to understand the reason why I'm doing this. And I'm going to tell you a story today that will help you understand why this site exists and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So here we go. This site goes back to my very early childhood. It goes back to when I was 4 or 5 years old, and it goes back to a book called Wide Open Windows. Now, oh, by the way, I am going to be looking around because I am driving, and I'm just going to be free talking. I'm going to be recording, but just so you know, I am going to be watching as I'm driving, okay? So if I'm not always paying attention to the camera, you'll know why. Okay, that being said, Wide Open Windows. When I was 4 or 5 years old, there was a book, it was about yay big, blue cover, with the title Wide Open Windows on it. That book was a grammar school book that my dad had when he was in elementary school. And he kept that book for decades and decades. And in fact, he still has that book on his shelf back in Canada, even now. Pretty incredible. All these years later, he still has that book on his shelf. But in that book, there is a story. And that story was called Judd Goes Camping. Now, some of you older folks might have, especially if you're from Canada, some of you might actually know that book, and some of you may even know that story. If you do, put a comment down below, because oh my God, it would be great for you to actually share your Judd Goes Camping story with me as well. I would love to have that. So comment down below, please. I would love that. Oh my God, that would be fantastic. So, in the 1970s, fathers and their children, honestly, there really wasn't much of a relationship there. I'll be honest, and maybe it was just my dad. Very, very likely could have been just my own dad. But typically, I get the impression that fathers and sons, fathers and daughters, that relationship wasn't particularly well developed. I think kids at that time, they would have more of a relationship with their mom than their dad, you know, especially if you're a single household, single income household. Dad's out to work, just like mine was. You know, it's just the way it was. I hold no ill will to my father with regard to that. It's just the way that it was. I guess you could say the cultural influence of the day, the cultural zeitgeist. But at bedtime, when it was time for me and my sister to go to bed, quite often I would ask my dad, "Dad, go get wide open windows. Dad, read Judd Goes Camping." And so it was kind of my, in many respects, it was kind of my go-to story for bedtime. But more than that, as I look back on that situation, it was fundamentally about connection with my father, because I hardly ever saw him, and when I did, it was time to go to bed. And that story was the connection point between me and my dad. And he would, you know, I would get into bed, he would kind of snuggle up beside me, he'd have the book there, and he would read it to me as well. And it was the camping story. It was the quintessential camping story, going through the adventures of the character Judd and his friend in the story, and of course his dad coming in from time to time into the campsite to say hello and see how the boys were. Mr. Chase, his name was. But I'm gonna get some bumpies here on the road, but it wasn't just the story, it was the fact that I was able to bond in that moment to my father. And that's what camping became for me. It became the quintessential bonding experience between me and my father. And the story was the kind of the foundation of that. It was also the foundation of my understanding of the wilderness. It was my foundation of the understanding of the environment and protecting the world that I live with. One of the reasons why I'm driving an EV car. Understanding that it's in part my responsibility to take care of the environment, and it's also my responsibility to share that experience with other people and to provide them an understanding of why. Why is it so important to do this? Well, now that I've got 2 kids of my own here in Korea, I now have the ability to share that experience with them, to pay that experience forward. And they are starting to, now that they're a little bit older, they're able to see the world around them in a different way. They're able to uncover the uniqueness of the environment around them. They're able to experience and feel different when they're out with me hiking on a Saturday afternoon, as we did last week for the first time in quite a while, where they can marvel and joy at the sound of the forest, listening to the birds, the hearing the insects, listening to the water ripple in the river and the streams around us. Have that tactile sense of picking up leaves and twigs and sticks, putting your hands in the cold water as it's running off the mountain, and just feel what that is like. All of that is a part of that why experience. And here at Land Rover, no pun intended, here at Korea Overlander, it's very much a part of getting back to that. We live in a society where it is essentially a concrete jungle, and that is no truer in Korea than in many other places in the world. And with the year and a half that we've had with COVID, we can maybe get a bit narrowly focused in what we're doing in our life, and we kind of have these blinders on. The wilderness doesn't allow for blinders, and when we get out, those blinders come off, and we're able to see a wider world. We're able to see what the natural world is. We're able to feel that our place in that natural world is far, far better. And there's something that makes us alive when we are there. Maybe some of you have that same experience. Maybe some of you have that same level of understanding. And if you do, you'll understand exactly why this channel exists. You'll understand exactly the reason why that book created the relationship that it did to carry on the relationship of me to nature. You'll understand that. And that's what this channel is for. That's the why. And I think many of you will understand that experience. And if you do, put a big capital yes down in that comment section, because I know you do. Now, one of the things I'm planning on doing actually is taking that book, Judd Goes Camping, chapter by chapter, and I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to read that book as part of this channel, because I think it's an extremely important story for me, and I hope that it will become an important story for you. And maybe, just maybe, some of you will go out and buy that book, and you'll read that to your kids at nighttime too. And that will be the starting point. If you haven't done so already, that will be the starting point for your relationship with your children in the environment that we live in. If you don't have kids, if you're not married, you don't have kids, it doesn't matter. Get that book, read that book. It's still important, because someday, if you do, that book will become part of your family history, just as that story has become a part of my family history. From my dad, to me, to my son and my daughter. So that's why this particular video exists. That's why the why is important for you to understand the why this channel exists. And I hope, now that we've had about 15 minutes here, I'm going to turn it off. But I hope that you understand that why. And I am grateful for everybody who subs. Let's make this channel a better one. Let's get to that 1,000 subscribers, because to be quite honest, if we don't, we're not able to do as much in that channel. And I do say we purposefully because it is a we, it is an us. It's not just a me. Yes, I'm doing the content, but you're part of this experience just as much as I am. So please sub, please understand the why, get connected. And as I say, Korea Land, I keep saying Land Rover, Korea Overlander, live life better. And you will. And I'm glad you're here. So take care, everybody. Have a great day. Enjoy the rain. Enjoy the sunshine. Weekend's coming up. Let's get out there and live life better. Peace, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.